Hey guys, I'm going to show you real quick just how things are coming. So I'm going to walk you through just some pages real quick. They're all at different stages of development, so some are more finished than others. And that's okay. It's just the way it works, right? We have 30 people who go through like a conveyor belt operation of what they have to do with their parts. Let me just try to get a visual on it, and then I'll be able to explain what we mean by that as we go. Okay, here you go. So this is one of the real estate agent sites. And again, this is not really for anyone in particular. It's just general purpose. So all these pages that are here and all the pages that are in our service offers, okay, that is going to pertain to all the different keywords that we're going after with pages that are written well for the keywords so that they can rank. I'll kind of walk you through and you'll see that on some scores. But the point is, whenever people land on our pages, we can allow them to contact a company right away, but also, and very importantly, behind the fact, we're capturing the leads, which we're offering to a bunch of real estate agents in that area, right? And the real estate agents in that area can decide when they want to pick up a lead, right? So this is a great way to make passive income. And that's the kind of thing we're doing for everyone. Projects where it doesn't matter. You don't need to know anything about solar panels, solar panel installation. But we can do a project for solar panel installation on your behalf because you're paying for us to set the whole thing up. And what do you get? Half the receipts from selling the leads, that kind of thing. All right, let me keep going though. Like this is not finished yet, okay? But you'll see that it's kind of coming along. It's just, we'll obviously replace things and update things as we go. Take a look at this. Even doing videos in the top banner section, that's kind of new, right? That's what I mean, that these are new. So let me just keep going for a minute. Okay, so here you go. Different look to the thing, okay? Different breakdown. Again, there's like broken images because we haven't got to the step yet. There's going to be a lot of lorem ipsum in places, but take a look at just how much content there is in a case like this. Also, we want to make sure that there are images and or videos on every single page of the project, not just the home page, because images and videos make the pages far better quality, keyword by keyword, page by page, okay? So we are going nuts. Take a look at this double parallax effect. You'll see it on here, and you'll see it also with the verbiage in front of it. But if I just scroll down, you see that double parallax effect. Totally different thing than what's happening on the other templates because we made a lot of entirely different templates, right? But all this stuff works. I want to show you something real fast. So again, if I go scrolling down, take a look at the power of this, right? It's just completely huge. It's got images, it's got video, it's got links going different places. Again, we'll clean it up as we go. This isn't quite finished yet, but that's the point, is that all of this is here and it looks really good. And it's going to impress Google, and that is exactly what gets us to rank for all these different keywords. And I'll break it down in a minute, but take a look at the speed. This project isn't even on in the cloud. Okay, this is on one of the servers, 1,000. Look at that. Page loaded that fast, like half a second, right? So an entire page with all the videos and images, okay, loading in like half a second. Ready? 1, 2, 3, click. One. Not even half a second. And if I scroll down, right, all of this stuff here, oh, it may have been the same page after all. Let me see. Okay, again, like half a second, right? But a different page, you can see that. So it's extremely fast, all right? That's what I want to say. Yeah, we got to fix this stuff. This logo's, like I said, it's not finished yet. There are things that we'll do to change all this out and update it and so on, but it is a massive work in progress. Now, let me see. I haven't explained this, but when you go to, from the homepage, you click on Our Service Offers, that is a listing of all the subdomains that are on this one website. This one website, it's got 100 pages in its own sitemap, or they're coming. Again, that when we're to that step, we'll produce them. And it has 100 projects inside of it that are on subdomains, and each of those has its own sitemap of 100 pages. Crazy, huh? Each website's got 10,000 pages coming. By having said that, they're cool, they're organized, they're related by keyword and stuff. Now, here's the biggest thing. We've been looking at our template, right? And just thinking about the template that we have. And it's like, okay, so I'm guessing if we go through the subdomains, they're going to be based on this template, right? No, not at all. So ready? This is on that website. It's one of the subdomains on that website. And if I scroll down, you'll see it's different. It's got a different look to it for sure. Okay. There's that. So let me come back up. Okay. Because we want Google to like just how different all of these things are. See the activity there in the top banner? Very different templates, okay? And again, we can do video right inside the banner. That hasn't been connected here, but we can do it. Okay, very different, right? These are all on the same website, by the way. This is different. It's supposed to be this way because it's, it's supposed to look like a different template. But again, we'll see if something else appears here by the time the crew's done. They're doing everything. So, I mean, just totally different, right? Look at that. Very different. Okay. How's that? Different videos, different points, different content. Not just that, but with content manipulation, we can totally change how many headlines there are on the page and whether one paragraph stays one or gets split into two. Whether this paragraph stays one or gets split into two. Or if maybe this stays one and then the middle two are one paragraph and this becomes a third paragraph below it. Or if these three, the bottom three, are put together as one paragraph, or the top three, or all four. In other words, all the combination times all the sections. Not just that, but because we can do nested variables, we can totally change where links show up through the entire thing. So there could be a clickable link somewhere in the first half of the first sentence of this paragraph or this part, but it doesn't have to be. Could be on a different page. You'll see it's down here somewhere. On another page, it's like here somewhere or here somewhere. Totally up to us. And what that means is we're breaking all the iconoclasts. All the footprints that would normally make a project too similar to another one. So, I mean, beautiful websites, right? Just really, really gorgeous. I like this effect. I like the way this is coming out. Okay, there will be something here popping in for banners and logos, but just take a look at that, man. That's so neat. Yeah. And we can do it any way we want. I mean, these could be full width. They could be boxed. It's just up to us. But the point is, all these get to be as though for different clients. And for Google, that's such an array of variability. It's so cool. Now, you might still say, okay, I'm kind of recognizing the same templates. And the answer is that's true. In any stack of 20 subdomains, we use the same templates for those 20 right now. We used to use them for all 100. Now we silo it. So a fifth, a fifth, a fifth, a fifth, a fifth. And then the first fifth shares its own templates. The second fifth shares its own. Third shares its own. Fourth shares its own. Fifth shares its own. So they are totally different. They do not cross. We don't cross the streams, kind of like in Ghostbusters. And along with the templates being different in each of those 5 silos, the contents that make up the pages, our alternating storyline concepts, are written differently. So even if we have another page for injury lawyers here and here, the page for injury lawyers here was written differently and the variables are therefore different. So for this silo of 20 cPanels, the content for injury lawyers is nothing like this or this or this or this. They're all different. So not only does each silo use its own templates, it uses its own contents. Somebody said once, I can't get over just how deeply black hat all this is. And I had to grin because it's not black hat. You could think of it this way. If we were hired to make powerful websites for clients, do you realize, and I'm sure you do, these websites are good enough to sell, right? Just the way they are, to sell or to rent out. So we created an inventory of finished websites. That does not mean black hat. They're different. They're based on different contents, different images, different points. We can make them even more different as we wish. But the reality check is that they're different and no one happened to pay for them. So we just happen to pre-release the inventory. It's not even a black hat concept anymore. It's not. So yeah, I love it. I just love the fact that we're doing it. that it's coming along, that they're filling everything in, and that the sites are coming out the way they are. They're really amazing. Okay. Now, all this so far I've been showing you, I think, accident lawyers the entire time, right? So just to show you something else. And again, we'll go back through, and if we don't like the colors, then we'll definitely change them, because when we create all the variations, we have to go back and double check the combinations of like this color on that background, and then just decide what we want to fix. But no big deal, right? I'm sure you've seen that the majority of this looks great, right? And it really does. So here, I want to walk you through something real quick. This is plumber sites. Again, same kind of concept. Different templates, different contents, and so on. And all the pages, right? They're all based on their own top ranking scores. So I'll point that out in a sec, but 1,000, not even a second, the page is live. It's got images, it's got videos, links, and everything, and it loaded in less than a second, right? And it's not even on a server in the cloud yet, but that's why Ajax coding is so good. It's basically hack proof, and it's also very fast. And so as I'm clicking through these pages, right, these are different pages, they are freaking hot. I mean, it's loading the images and the videos fast, right? So anyway, what do I want to say now? Okay, let me just show you real quick, and then I'll get to scores real fast. So again, service offers, right? So 100 projects on a website, and each project has 100 pages in its own sitemap. It's a 10,000 page website, all based on all those variations of templates, right? So just look at the differences, okay? I won't even scroll down anymore. I think you get the idea, but here we go, right? I'm just gonna flip through this, and you'll see how different all this looks and feels and acts, right? Now you can say you recognize our handiwork. That's true for every website designer. Well, most. Is that they have their own beloved template structures, and when you order work from them, the website that you get feels a lot like it came from them. Here's a case where we're going to go back through and improve upon the font colors against this background. It may have been perfect for a different kind of a background, but since we have these kinds of background images showing up in this kind of project, then obviously we need to change that font. We will. Okay, we'll get it. But yeah, I totally love it. I mean, it's really powerful and fast and just unbelievable. So I'm getting the scores real quick here. As a matter of fact, one more and then scores. So this is the last of those. You got a little arrows, click through from point to point. All those clickable links go to internal pages, or they cross-link to other sites. Usually they go internal. The cross-links are in the paragraphs, okay? But these things are written to rank so that we can make money with them from selling the leads, which is our big goal, right? For every industry times every metro area, we can make the project even like a gift. We can use real companies when we create the projects and put their real phone numbers and business names and addresses on the pages so that they rank even faster, because Google has name recognition, brand recognition. Google gets to say, I've seen them. They're there, they're live, they have backlinks in Yelp and everywhere else. So this is just another referral set of pages pointing at a company I can trust to answer the phone. So that just makes our pages rank faster. And what's the point? Is it getting them free calls? No, because whether they get called or not, it's our gift to put those up. So guess what we get to do also? While those pages rank, we get to grab all the leads in the background and sell it to competitors. You might think, well, doesn't that mean a bidding war every time? And the answer is no. Only about 3%, maybe 4%, who land on a web page even call. Okay, so out of 100 people who land on the web page, they might get 3 or 4 calls. But we got like 30 or 40 leads, and we're going to sell those, okay? Now, there might be a little overlap. Maybe one of those is the same guy. Chances are low. If we're capturing, say, 35 out of 100, okay, then it's a 1 in 3rd chance that we captured any of those like 4 or 5 leads that they're going to get, 4 leads or even 3 that they're going to get directly, okay? So very low chance. It doesn't, and so there might be a bidding war once every 100 guys. Big deal, because everyone window shops usually, and every company's used to someone calling and saying, hi, they quoted me this price, they can be around tomorrow, what can you do for me? All companies have some people who do that, right? When people call me, they go, okay, anyone can build a website. What's different about yours? And they usually don't do that because our videos are so extremely different from the average that they call and say, okay, I'm just like lost but fascinated by what I've seen. Explain this to me. You know, having said all that, so the point of gifting websites and including 10,000 companies on a massive release, for example, or even if we had like 100 domains and we had 100 subdomains each, we could take like 1,000 companies in the metro area, and we could create different referral sites pointing at them so that all of them have name recognition. Anyway, Google likes them, they tend to rise, and guess what? They tend to fill up the front pages, making it way harder for other people to get there. Okay, and we get to sell those leads, right? That's exactly what we learned from the locksmith dispatcher job that we did years ago. And for all the insane amount of money they make doing that, they don't have any contracts with any locksmiths. They just text the leads out to a bunch of locksmiths in the area, and they happen to split the invoices. We'll just sell the leads for flat amount of money. It's so much easier to control. All right, let's take a look. Okay, here we go. Not even in the cloud. Performance and structure is an A, okay? A lot of what pulls down structure scores, believe me, these are in the green, big time. A lot of what pulls down blocking time is being on a server that's not so fast. Same with largest contentful pane is 1.1 seconds. These numbers will drop dramatically when we move these projects up into the cloud, which we will. So when that happens, structure score leaps up in the air, okay? So having said that, this is hard to get. You go to GT Metrics and look up your website or somebody else's website that you think has a reasonable website. It is not common to find the grades this high unless you are looking at the websites that are ranking at the top out of lots of websites, because they're ranking since they put the time and effort in to make this possible. Now, what's crazy is when we produce these projects, they're all going to have scores floating around this, because we have hand-trained every one of the templates that we do in all those silos, okay, our 25 to 28 and growing templates that get arranged through the projects. We've trained them all on these grades so that they all perform extremely high. That's cool, okay? What's next? Errors. Okay, we're just down to 13 errors. You know, you always start with like 140 and work it down. These errors are just based on content. Everything that's in here is very simple stuff to fix. So mostly we're just making sure we dot the I's and cross the T's on the rest of the steps. Then we'll come back through and do this. You'll always do HTML validation last, but we did it on each of the parts that are different. So the templates are done, and the rest of this is basically just content relationship. Very little stuff like CSS font weight is italic instead of a font weight like 16 or 18. So that's a mismatch in one file, which we're going to be able to track, fix, and replicate the fix instantly through all the rest of the project. So yeah, I mean, that error will vanish for everything, you know, and that's very much how this goes. So having said that, this is nothing. It's just we'll finish fixing this when we're done. As always, right, we want HTML validation to be clean. Okay, what about on-site SEO? That's cool. We're in the green. We're well in the green. We can dive in and make more changes, but some of that will get changed simply by moving into the cloud. For instance, this web page is not using the HTTP2 protocol. That's right. That's because of the server it's on right now. While we're doing our work in parallel, we have all the sites on different servers so we can run our projects in parallel. Then when we get it done, we move the finished stuff that we stamp done, we move those to the best servers we have. And so all of a sudden this will be fixed, and it's a big deal. And so it's going to drive that score up more. That's kind of how all this goes. Custom 404 error page. Yeah, we'll throw the 404 error page in there when we're done with everything else, because it's a very simple thing. Everyone's got something like this. And it's really easy to make, and it's really easy to replicate through the entire stack of sites. Here's something really cool. I just happened to take like whichever one it was, right? What one was it? Maybe it's that one. I forget which one it was. Somewhere in here was one of those, and it's at Pipe Solutions in Costa Mesa. I said, okay, so audit it for that, because every page is wrapped around its own keyword and then a bunch of relevant keywords that apply. Okay, and to make sure that other websites don't use the same structure in the H1, will swap out the keyword combinations because it's important. Having said that, so the page that I graded for that particular keyword, it's showing me what the scores of the other front page competitors are. It's just showing me a few of them here. So Yelp, number 2 for the keywords, 55. SOSplumbingrouter.com is indeed a local company, and they're number 3. Then we've got this Angie.com. Haven't looked them up. That's not Angie's List. So it may very well just be a local company. It's number 5. Bill Metzer, plumbing.com, definitely a local guy. This guy's number 8, and he's got a score up here in this green box, right? Notice how no one has a score in the green box, including ours, except for the number 8 guy. So we've got a 63, and you know what they're saying? Hey, improve your score by at least 5 points for the best results. 5 points? First of all, we're already beating, on a content score breakdown, the number 2, number 3, number 5, and number 10 spot on the front page, okay? Second of all, it's not hard to improve the score by 5 more points. You know what we can do for that? Image alt tags. Suddenly we're done. Add another image through the pages. Suddenly we're done. Make sure there's a video on the page. Suddenly we're done. Make more use of more of the sub keywords, like throw in another header somewhere that includes one of the sub keywords. All of a sudden we're done. 5 points isn't hard at all. So of course, as we do these productions, we're getting all these scores up in the air to objectively rank on the front page of Google for the keyword that the page is intended for, plus a whole ton of relevant keywords that get used in combinations. Take a look down here, okay? Important terms, and they just say this. They say, hey, some of these require your attention, or lots of them require your attention, but no, we went through the training, they don't. Once you're up in the green, it's not that simple anymore. You're in the green. Anyway, look at this term, Costa Mesa. So if it's like Costa Mesa Plumber, Costa Mesa Plumbing Company, plumber in Costa Mesa, plumbers in Costa Mesa, whatever, then there you have it, right? Well, all these combinations of keywords apply on this page, right? Search volumes. I've got search volumes here for these things. And you know what? We're all good. They suggest that we have the usage a certain number of times on the page for each of these things, and we hit it, okay, for each of these things. So we did that with a bunch of the words. We don't do it with all of them because it's just hard to write the content that way. So yeah, I mean, do some of this and bam, our score shoots up in the air, which is so easy. Some of this is just strengthen some of the words in bold that you would expect to strengthen. That's simple, right? That is no issue. So anyway, yeah, that is the final point I want to make about that. Let me kind of remind you, we had 22 real estate leads come through in 2.5 days. 22 leads in 2.5 days that are worth like $300 each to a real estate agent in that area. That's 6,600 from textable leads that are sellable in 2.5 days. That's $13,200 a week worth of that. Okay, that was with far suboptimal templates, like all these templates. Okay, we didn't have templates this diverse. Okay, and you're only seeing a fifth of the project altogether in terms of underlying templates that make this stuff happen. Okay. And then we also did not have scores anything like this. You know what our scores were? Instead of like a 63 like you see here, our scores were like 38. You get this high on the score, we could have a 10-fold increase on the number of leads that pour in. 22 leads in 2.5 days with all the stuff we're doing now between content and templates could turn easily into 220 leads in 2.5 days. Okay? Throw a 0 on the end of the amount of money we can make. So that is what we're doing, and that is why you guys want to get into projects like this come hell or high water. If you got to make payments, if you can pay down, whatever it is. Those of you that are trying to get yourself locked in and you have to make payments, simple way to do it is go to website-installer.com, hit professional services. This is the old version of the same project. This is back when backlinks that we generated were simply backlinks. But now we don't do this tier 2 backlinking stuff. We do full out tier 1 in your face, upfront, metro area takeovers. Okay, so all of this that you would get into for the lower prices, that would be standard backlinking projects. But here's some magic. If you get in at the $12.50 a month and you're going to be paying for a year, that's 15 grand. So if you can do that, and if you have to go lower and pay longer, just do it if you need to. But as you cross each threshold, each month's worth, we're going to give you that equivalent part that you would get for the month, so that you are raking up the project. And what I mean by that is exactly what I've been saying, right? All of this stuff is done in the pieces as they're done. And so, videos appear, images appear, text combinations appear, content manipulation appears and varies the content from page to page. Link mastery, the differences between link formats, whether it's href equals, target equals, rel equals, or a rel equals, href equals, target equals, or a target equals, rel equals, href equals. All that kind of thing is built to break footprints. Okay, we weight them appropriately so Google sees them in the order that is common, but not all of them, because not everyone does do it the same way at all. So we break the footprints too. And then what kinds of links appear in the paragraphs on the different pages, and where, and even how many, are all variables. That way Google does not see relationships. And I'll give you another one that we didn't know. And this is another one that's going to affect lead counts. We didn't know that if you had more than 100 backlinks from, like, say you got one website here and you're creating backlinks to another website over here. You're pointing at that website, right? Links pointing here. So somebody's reading a paragraph and they click a link, it takes you to some page over here, right? That's the idea. We did not know that if you had more than 100 backlinks pointing to that website, then it would be a low quality backlink source for this website. Now we have a lot of low quality backlink sources so it made a huge difference. We got leads. But guess what? Now that we know better, we're doing high quality. So there are less than 100 links pointing here, less than 100 pointing to another side of ours, less than 100 pointing to another side of ours, less than 100 pointing to another. Same here. So every one of the websites we do have less than 100 links pointing out at any other website, any other one website. But one website does have links to many websites, which is healthy. So there was a lot of just cross-weaving with no particular pattern, and that is beautiful. Google loves seeing that. And we do deep backlinking smartly, so it's not all the links go to the home page, which Google also wants to see, deep backlinks. So we also have relations for that too, like how often do we do to the home versus one of the deeper pages. Anyway, the point of this description and what I'm showing you is to give you a realization of just how insanely powerful these projects are now, and the fact that they are built so well. Once we built one page for a topic that was big enough, content, solid enough, with all the involved phrasing and stuff on it, then the point is Google is impressed. So, that's just it. We're scoring high. And once we score and we drive up our scores for each of those pages, really, really highlight that, all of our variation pages have scores right in that neck of the woods. So all of our pages have extremely high scores. So if we're doing a million web page launch, takeover in a metro area across all these sites, we can really take over lots of positions on the front pages of lots and lots and lots of keywords. We can take 10% of the demand up ourselves without anyone being able to recognize, as they just go through links on the front page, that they belong to us, one person. Google will pick one link from every different website on the front page. And when people visit those links, They're different user experiences altogether. We've got alternating storylines, so not even the pages in the menu are always the same. They're not. Okay? Content manipulation, everything else, nothing reads or looks the same anymore. By the time we're done, even our own QA guys won't recognize our websites on the front page, and we have 1,000 HTML blitz websites that are every man coding, just every different template out there, not our engine, so that we can use those to automatically, even automagically, backlink through the entire structure of things that we do produce at this level. And that way, there's a mass of power coming from stacks of sites pointing in at us, even though they're just everyman websites, like 5-pagers. Some of them have unminified coding. Some have old JPEG images or mix and match. Some could have broken pages just to make sure that that's not even a footprint, because that's the point. We can arrange everything now easily to make it all perfect. So we can produce perfection, we can produce imperfection, we can even produce broken stuff and mix and match it smartly. And yeah, we can do this in such a way that we have this massive glorified coverage of tons of keywords for the purpose, and start selling the leads. And guess who it's going to benefit? The local economies. Because who ranks on the front pages? Just a few of the companies that need the leads, and they get more leads than they can do with, and they basically have to tell people, sorry, we can't do it, because they're too busy. Which means those guys who are doing a search don't know what else to do. They don't necessarily go to page 2 of Google. They just kind of look elsewhere, right? Trying to find a solution. Once they go through the main page, maybe some of them will go to page 2. Some will go to Yellow Pages. Some will go to Yelp. Some will go to Facebook. They'll just kind of look around, right? But what can we do is we're capturing leads of people looking around, especially if we're ranking on the front end. We can distribute leads on an as-needed basis. Naturally, as we offer the leads out, whoever needs it will grab it. Offer some more, whoever needs it grabs it. Offer some more, whoever else needs it grabs it. Offer more, somebody else will grab it. So we're feeding the economy in the metro area with leads, not just 5 companies getting an overflow while 95 companies starve, but 95 companies can each grab 3 or 4 or 5 leads a week, from our process. Okay, so that they don't starve, so they can keep up, right? How cool is that? How helpful is that to all those employees and all those companies? That is healthy for the economy, and that is what we're building to be able to do. I love it, okay? Just so you know. Anyway, there you go. I just wanted to break this down so you understand where we're at and what it means. And by the way, don't forget, when we do these projects and there's crossover in the purpose, right? Like people coming through one industry could very well also need to contact guys in a different industry, so we have our sub-industry breakdown. If somebody's looking to sell their house, they might need a new roof. They might need a house painting job in interior and exterior. They might need new carpet. They might need landscaping. They might need kitchen remodeling. Okay, so we can definitely offer leads to all these sub-industries at discounts since they're not head-on. It might take, instead of a guy going to a roofing site because he needs a roof, that would sell for full price. But if we tell the roofers, hey, this guy's looking to sell his house, are you interested in this lead? Then we're going to give the guy a drop. Basically, 2/3 off the cost, because it'll take like 3 times as many guys to have a turnover rate. But because it's so cheap, very often roofers, whichever roofer here, there, and there in the entire, remember it's 100 roofers each getting a lead offers all at the same time. And it's 100 because we say so, we can change the number. But that just means there's always someone who says, you know what, that's the right price, I'm going to call. I'm going to see if the guy needs a new roof. I'll just go ahead. That's just cool. All right, more later, but there you go. Now you understand the basis of what we're doing and what it looks like and how powerful it's come. Okay, 2022 is going to be an incredible year. All right, guys, there you go. For those of you getting into projects like this, if we're doing the split on commissions, that's the idea, then what? Then we'll keep improving the projects as we go on our own dime, because we want that to happen and you are locked in. So you will just earn as we improve the projects. We've got 30 workers now. And so, yeah, these projects are getting incredible. All right, talk to you after a while. Take care.